Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. The stream should be up in a second. Just give me a moment. I'm just checking the audio. And it is fine. Okay. Shall we start? So, today I don't have a lot of things planned, so just, I don't know, probably get the daily tasks done. I don't know, oh, okay. Maybe let's purchase the, what's it called? Okay, this one. Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Ooh. Yeah, 5.0 Sendai, Kako, Isuzu. For sure going with Sendai first. Simply because, I know, I've been feeling like playing 5.0 Japan before the update hits and inevitably screwing pretty much a lot of damage models. I'm very skeptical when it comes to that. Hopefully it won't be as bad as I think it will be. Hopefully. Time will tell. Okay, cool. 6-0. So we're off to a great start. If I knew I would be getting 6-0, I would be just bringing Fuso, Mikuma and going for... what's it called? Naval EC. Today's... an RB one, if I remember correctly. So yay, something. Haven't played War Thunder in a while. Pretty much this whole week. So maybe a little bit of an update on what has happened. And what happened was... how should I say it? Not a lot of fun stuff. First of all, I screwed over my back. So the first days of this week was just a little bit painful. Couldn't pretty much do anything. I was just laying in bed and hoping I can move. After that, when the medicine kicked in, it was better. I do have to say it was better. Then I've finished one video, which I've uploaded yesterday. Then the next one is coming soon-ish. I don't know if I want to upload it, but well, it's better than nothing, I guess, and it is fun enough that I think it will be nice to upload. There's always no point in uploading something that I don't deem worthy. And I do deem it worthy. Okay, I was replying to a message. Okay, off to a good start. Good start, as always. Maybe with Kako, it's gonna get better. 5.0 versus 6.0. At least there's not a lot of Helenas here. Imagine if that match would be like half of the enemy team was the premium people going with Helena. Ugh. I'm disgusted by that. Not trying for the kills. Oh, hey, cool. I'm the last one. Even Moffat is better than me. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that about the War Thunder that I've played. I've played more Coastal. So yes, I've played more Coastal. I am quote-unquote proud of that. Well, maybe not proud per se, but hey, it is some quote-unquote difference, which I enjoyed. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. And I did almost 2 battle pass tasks with that. Oh, cool. Seems like Kako is as good as she was. So, I have to give credit where credit should be given, and Coastal is fun. Not as fun as playing in a battleship in Congo, sailing around, harassing others, or having this quote-unquote nice duels. At least nice in my opinion. I was always a fan of bigger ships than smaller. Bigger is better after all. And it's fun. Some ships, I still don't like PT boats. I still don't like these small motorboats. They die too quickly, they are not that fun. At the same time, frigates are nice. Snap chasers are nice. PGO2 is still good. And dies slower than I remembered. Which is in plus, of course, in plus. Okay, maybe I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit. It is a bit too loud for me. No, but for real. To finish my thought, I feel like I want to play more Coastal in the future. Okay, I've dabbled a little bit on stream. And currently I've been playing a little bit off stream. So maybe even try and create something about that. Sure, I have this Nevada video that is slowly cooking. By slowly I mean slowly. Like I said, I wanted to upload it a bit faster, but sad not sad, I really couldn't move for 2 days from my bed. I mean, I could, because I had to go to my doctor. It wasn't a very pleasant experience. So if I shouldn't move, then I didn't. Then we came back to Wednesday. At Wednesday, I started editing the first stream highlights. Then it went for the other, well, uploading, etc. Making thumbnails, of course. Graphic design is my passion after all. And after that, today, after the stream, I'll probably just finish the Nevada video, upload it, and publish it tomorrow? Question mark, tomorrow morning. But for me it would be morning. And the good part is I don't have to wake up or lift a finger. I'm just gonna set the publish date, this and this, and here I come. So I can upload it like 3 AM and then publish it at 8 AM or something like that. YouTube is very, very easy to use when it comes to that. Then, the holidays are over, and feels like the holidays are over for me because I started going back to making more content again. I don't know, something I have more motivation to work on my videos now than before. Okay, that was a clean match. Bad match, but clean match. So I don't know if I'm the only one that gets motivated if like later in the year, so in the autumn, or I'm just the weird one that doesn't like to do anything during the holidays, during the warm season, and just I'm just gonna pop a few streams, a video once for a while, and then going back to making more videos during autumn/fall, depending whether you like British English or American English. And I do know that this, from the content creator point of view, this is a stupid idea, because I should capitalize on the younger audience, quote-unquote younger, because I think I can share my statistics, and those are, let me just check, not to lie to you, but my statistics, viewers. Most of my viewers, let's check last 3 months. I have even split, but most of my viewers are from 18 to 40 years old. So from young adults to quote-unquote middle-aged adults. I don't have that many younger audience. I don't have that many of no. Oh. No, yeah, the younger audience and or female audience. Yeah, I have 7% of females, mostly from shorts. I wonder why. Okay, double heavies, double organs. I do wish we have night battles in Naval, with proper night battles. Sendai, the night battle freak. It would be so pleasant to use her. It is pleasant to use her still. Maybe not as much. Those 140 millimeters can kick a little bit of ass. Not as much as Kako's 200 millimeter or 20 centimeter, however we wanna call it. At least they are good enough. Let's say it this way. They are good enough, and let's stick with that. What do I mean by that is at 5.0, 5.3, even at some 5.7, especially for British, against British cruisers, British and or slash Italian plus Soviet, Sendai has no worries, no problems with fighting against them, with... Okay, with fighting, that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. She can take a little bit of hits, but she's still squishy. She's still an interwar cruiser, after all. But she has a nice filler when it comes to shells. Quite a right penetration. And she has AA. Very important part. More AA than Kuma, which makes her way better at the same BR. Goes to say she's one of my favorite 5.0 cruisers. If only those torpedoes were not the Type 8, but Type 99, type 91, not 99. That would just be the best. Don't have to worry about anything. Okay, double torpedo. Because if those were the long lances, then okay, faster, better range. Okay, double torpedo to Eugen. I think that Eugen is not looking at me. We're in a very critical moment. Okay, yep, Eugen noticed me. So now we start fighting. Disable the turrets first. At least try and disable. Or if you're lucky enough, then go penetrate the munition here. Somewhat like that. Somewhat. And I will show you why she is as good as one might not think. Look, don't mind my aim. My aim is a completely different matter. Because the last time I checked, my aim was all over the place and I got offered a role of a stormtrooper in the next Star Wars movie. That is gonna happen during the Imperial times. But for the better part, I can aim, like you saw previously. I was able to even detonate an IJN with Kako. And now even fight like equals with Sendai. And that's why I prefer Naval over tanks. Yes, you are at a disadvantage at 5.0. You have the singular weaker guns. It's not the 155mm of the light cruiser or the 203mm of the heavy cruiser. Needless to say, those are good guns. And those who say that those aren't a good guns, well, need to check they are fighting properly. And probably this is why Japan can be a little bit of a disappointment. Because at first you're getting Kuma, you're getting Sendai, so you're getting used to the 140mm that are quite good, especially when put in a down tier. Hell, if you buy yourself Yubari, then you get even at 4.3 the taste of 140mm. Which, like I said, really great. And then you go to 5.3 with Agano. And don't get me wrong, I've played my fair share of Agano. So I can safely say that she is a disappointment. Not a big disappointment, but she is the disappointment you can expect from 5.0 cruiser from the other nations. So this is the stuff you can expect from Leipzig, Enterprise, the Omaha class, so Raleigh, or the other one, like Detroit, etc. So, the Japanese subverting your expectations. We first get something nice, get a little bit of the fine treatment, and then you're getting slapped with the bad. Unlike with others, where the 5.0 is typically worse. And then you're getting to 5.3. For US, you have pretty great 5.3 heavy cruisers, Pensacola and Northampton. Then you're getting things like Atlanta, which is beloved by many, not by me. You're getting the first light cruiser for Germany, which was not Leipzig. Leipzig is 5.0, the K-class, whatever the name was it. You know which one I'm talking about. Then USSR. Okay, Soviets are generally an exception to this. Their cruisers don't get good until 5.7 with Kirov and Żelezniakov. Okay, nice torpedo kill. Finally. Maybe a second torpedo kill? Would be nice to see. But continuing the subject of good 5.3, then I go with British Dido, Arethusa, Italian 5.3. I don't have a lot to talk about them. They are alright, I guess. Not the best, not the worst. I've played worse. I've played better. The previously mentioned Dido, for example, which still holds the title of the best light 5.3 cruiser and pretty much best cruiser 5.3 cruiser in general, in my opinion. Then we come to France. France is a mixed bag. Colbert is fun to play if you're not up-tiered. Then if you are up-tiered, you have to pray you're not getting targeted by pretty much everyone, because you will die faster than Sendai. Or faster than Shimakaze. Oh, that's a better comparison. Villeperdon is not fun for me, so I won't comment on her. People say she's good, I'm saying she's bad. So that's just up to preference. Oh boy. Also, this is always a fun part. Is that only in War Thunder people are thinking that kamikaze attacks are better than trying to survive. Not saying that you should survive, or that you should not try and go for the kamikaze attack. They might yield surprisingly good results. At the same time, as always, if you can survive, then do it. And get more kills this way. No point of being dead. That Eugen is dead set on me. Was that Eugen or was that Hipper? I think that was Hipper. She didn't have the red turrets. The typical red turrets of Eugen. By the way, I have to apologize for something. Oh no, I don't have to apologize, you guys. It wasn't there, but I thought that we're getting the patch this week. Seems like the patch is not dropping this week. My bad. Oh yeah, that toy gun was dead set on me. Nah, but for real, for real. If the patch is not this week, then patch will surely come next week. From what we know, the dev server went to the live patch version. So now we're just waiting for the confirmation. Pretty much just Gaijin uploading the files onto the live server and saying, okay, yep, this is it guys, enjoy. No, you don't. Ah, goddammit. Wanted to disable the turret on the toy gun. Let's go for a little bit of biting angle. Go for the juicy magazines. If possible. Doesn't seem like it's possible currently. Not very good with shooting, seems like. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely not good at shooting. It hurts. Lower? Yeah, lower. I'm doing the thumbs up. Cool. There's only me. So oh, thank God. Almost thought that people will just go after me. Thankfully not. Thankfully I'm just here winning on my own. Of course not on my own, but on my own. Yes, completely agreeable. Discord. Good, this good. Okay, seems good enough. Okay, I feel like it's time to bring... Oh my god, that was very hard R. Bring Isuzu to the game. I mean, I would go for Isuzu first. Like hell. This few Modifications would be a nice boost to getting experience for Issa. At the same time, at 6.0 or 5.7 that I'm getting matches, Suzu is not the greatest. No, not at all. Also, Gaijin, bring more Nagara class. Only Isuzu had this special modification. The others have different guns, completely different primary guns. So Gaijin, more Nagara class. More Nagara class, more Miyoko, more... Oh, we have Furutaka both as Kako and Furutaka. So in the two combination, we have so many more ships to be added. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty disappointed in Mommy. I expected Mommy to be the Mommy of the Matsu class from 1944. Turns out she's Mommy from the interwar from 1930 something, which would be a worse reserve than Mutsuki. So, boy oh boy, not good at all. Okay. Here's a time for Isuzu. We have 5.0, even down tier, is Hatsuzuki. Use few, quote unquote few. It's not few, but quite a lot of coastals. Hopefully. Okay. This is the 5.0 match, the finally... Wait, a 5.7. Oh, God damn it. This one Eugen ruined everything. What's next? What's next? This one of those will spawn in Helena. The only thing I wanted was 5.0 or 5.3 and below. 4.3 to 5.3, for example. And what I'm getting is 6.0 or 5.7. I can deal with that. But oh boy, do I not want to fight at those BRs. There is some tolerance that I can take. It starts to go beyond my levels of tolerance. Pretty quickly. Not the worst. Definitely. Not yet. At the same time... What's the point of playing low tiers if the only thing you're getting is... Well... 5.7. So what's the point of bringing anything below if you don't have to? The only thing you're getting is the full up tier and the inability to fight against the enemies. At least, hey, Isuzu gets long lances. That's cool. You know, and you know what's funny about Isuzu? This raider is an air raider that's supposed to work. Meanwhile, Gaijin just completely disregarding that Isuzu was supposed to be an anti-air cruiser. That's why she received the 5-inch dual-purpose guns as her deep modification with HETF. Yes, that was supposed to be anti-air coverage. And instead just... Look, cool, moving part that does completely nothing. And it's supposed to be a part that could be quite useful. Maybe not as useful as the radar on HEVT cruisers, or the cruisers or destroyers that have access to HEVT shells. Still, it would be bloody nice if you could just use the radar and this HETF to aim with a little bit forward or behind the enemy aircraft and deal some damage with that, or maybe to have a better lead with your anti-air 25 millimeters, and you have a lot of 25 millimeters. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting radar for Isuzu. And of course we're not getting that, because radar is for only few chosen ones. Hey, maybe at least with the new unrepairable holes that are coming to War Thunder in this update, the 127mm of Japan will get better in dealing damage against light cruisers or destroyers. 127mm that will deal unrepairable damage to the compartments, pretty much sinking a lot of ships. Also torpedo rework. Currently I'm a little bit skeptical when it comes to those ships. Okay, okay, no. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm pretty much dead. 1, 2, and maybe that 1, 2. Expected that. Never wanted to bring Isuzu in the first place if I knew that I'm getting into the 5-7 match. It wasn't a 5-7 match. Ah, USS Trenton. That's the second Omaha class. Raleigh and Trenton. Yeah, just why? Why, you German destroyer? I think it's Z-43. You have pretty good target here. See, Moffat. I'm sorry, see, Eugen, see, Moffat. Why are you so dead set on fighting me? I don't even have crew to fight against me. In a second you will be dead anyways. Okay, maybe more than a few seconds. Oh, cool. First down. Oh, it's my turn. Unless I'll be so unbelievably lucky and that is gonna penetrate Eugen below. Not quite. Looks like it is possible. Looking at my current situation with crew, I take that back. Maybe if that was 1v1 against Eugen, I would consider winning that. Where are ya? Oh, come on. Just stop. Feel like I'm gonna make an announcement after playing this game that I'm not going back to Naval for a long time. For sure tomorrow, not. Tomorrow it's gonna be probably Hearts of Iron or whatever. And the day after tomorrow will be probably Naval EC. So at least some diversity. But I do think that I'm gonna just take a break from random battles. It's not good for me, you know? Especially after the Cool. Nice. Invisible shells. Or was that a torpedo? No! I got set on fire by apparently nothing when it comes to the game. So I lost 35% of the crew just because. I love when that happens. This looks like somewhat manageable. Okay, this is not winnable match. Kaijin punishing me for winning the last game. Saying, nah, you're not supposed to have fun in this game. You're supposed to suffer. And being decimated with against the unbeatable enemy alongside your teammates. You know what this reminds me of currently? The state of Naval. It reminds me of top tier RRB in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, this is pretty much top tier jets. So what did this, the 12.0, 11.0, this BR range? Why is that? Setting aside the coastal vessels or the sneaky destroyers winning the game by capping a zone that bigger cruisers cannot go into. But first of all, if you are getting up-tiered, for example, you're in a Phantom, the F4 Phantom, whether it's that EJ, EJ Kai, C, D, whatever, GR1, F, depending on the nation, or in F104, etc. I think I should just remove the Russian servers, to be honest. You're getting either stomped or you are doing the stomping. There's nothing in between. There's rarely a match where you can just say, okay, yeah, sure, I'm in SKR1, yes, game, yes. Pretty much there's no match where I can safely just say, yes, this match was great and this match was difficult, but not because, well, we were just getting stomped in the first few minutes, and then the quote unquote the survivors were trying to do something, but because the game was in general good. But most of the times it is just, okay, yeah, we are just getting decimated, or we are decimating the enemy. And yay, the dopamine rush, so yay, you're getting 1 or 2 hits of dopamine, but if you're going to play, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, well, depending on your time, depending on how much time you have, this dopamine rush is getting depleted really, really quickly because, well, to be quite frank, it's not worth it. You're not getting enough of the happy, what's it called? Not the hormone, pheromone, whatever. Enough playing you through your game, through your matches. Why is that? Because it's not fun. Yes, it is fun for the first time of the day, for the second time of the day. For sure, it's not fun for the 4th time, 5th time, 6th time that your 10th match is basically either you having to fight against half of the enemy team or the enemy having to fight against half of your team. Either way, it's not fun. One of those things is not as noticeable as the other. I think I'm just gonna... After I die in Kako, I think I'm just gonna leave. I feel like it's worth it when it comes to this match. Quite frankly, I don't feel like it. Yeah, cool. I fight against probably one of the few players on the enemy team. After that, it's just Eugen, Furutaka, Eugen, and probably one more Eugen. And that one... that's not French, so probably this is the Ducadetically the carriage, the 5.3 Russian, Soviet, whatever. Okay, changing back, because I, as always, start to complain too much. That was something. That was something indeed. Just my crew decided not to exist. 1 second, they are. Second. They are... Well, they are on the better side. Okay, the plan is to spawn. I already spawned. Plan is to play Sendai. After that, just die once more and go out and disable the Russian servers. I feel like this is one of the biggest What the okay, of course it's Eugen. It's one of the biggest problems. I think on the Russian servers, I have to disable them. European servers are at least somewhat manageable. Oh boy. Ah yeah, I don't have the... I don't have the... anti-torpedo bulges. So I thought, yeah, bow tanking. Cool stuff. Not so much. Start repairing in the meantime. That torpedo hurt way more than it should. Hey, I'm alive. Wait me. There's Miyoko. I have to buy Miyoko. I feel like well, the next sale that is coming to the game, I'm gonna buy Miyoko. Much that set on her. And I am hoping to see more of the Miyoko class in the game. You know, Nachi, Ashigara. You know, the cool, fun stuff. Okay. Goodbye, Sendai. I can't even repair myself. Yes, I know my ship got destroyed. I have just a minute to go to B and at least decap it. I don't wanna press U because I know when I press U, I'm just gonna get respawned immediately. Oh no, it's really not worth it. I play like an ass completely. Hell. What can I say? Well, pretty close. Yeah, return to hangar. Okay, first of all, second of all, yeah, I forgot that I was using the Russian servers to, well, find faster matches for tank battles. But now I remember why I should have disabled it for the naval. Wanna bet that next naval match I'll get will be 6.0? Pretty sure that it would be one. So let's see. I might... Yeah, of course, it's a defeat in African Gulf. I didn't even think of anything else. It was one of the last ships. One of the last players. Hey, Fiji. Yay. Okay, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. There's Sand Bomb. There's Moffat. That's a good sign. Yugure. Attilio Regolo. Yubari. Yet another Yubari. Is that Bank of China, of course. Abdiel. Guys, we have it. We have the down tier. So now, do I bring Isuzu or do I bring Sendai? Let's go with Isuzu, grind her a little bit, and then bring Sendai. We have the down tier. Or maybe not down tier, but because Davies, Moffat, Frank Knox, Bartolomeo Coloni, those are 5.0. But it's 5.0 and below, not 5.0 and above. Yeah, disabling the Russian servers was the best idea. that I've had in the last 1 hour. Wow. There are even players. Someone is playing the mobile prize, the Hatsuzuki, which I do own, but it's basically a clone of Akizuki, so very good ship with nice camo, but for now it's not worth the spading, at least for me. Maybe if mommy is well, when the mommy come, then I'll probably use her and some other 4.7, 4.3, maybe you, buddy, to grind mommy. Or wait, I won't need to grind mommy. No. You don't have to grind mommy because mommy will be the first reserve ship. Meaning we'll get her for free. Wow. So even less grinding for me next patch than I expected. Besides, you know, the whole top tier getting moved for quite a few RP changes. It's noticeably the top tier going from what, 380 to 480,000. I'll leave the maths to you. For me, at this point, I don't care. I have the ships that I want to have. The ships that I don't have are not the most important ships that I want to own. So I'm gonna crunch that Bayern. Okay, maybe Alaska, because I do need something relatively competitive for US. So for every other nation besides Italy, I have things that are just good. For France, I have the full tree. Yes, I can proudly say that I currently own every ship in the French tech tree. So this is the second tech tree that I have quote-unquote spaded. I have unlocked everything and bought. The first one was Japanese tree before the addition of Uso and later Ise. And currently, as you can see, I am grinding on Ise. So, few more days and hopefully I'll be done with that too. We will see, we will see. I do kind of want to get Mutsuki. I was fighting Mutsuki and then I forgot which ship I was talking about. No, but SKR-7, ladies and gentlemen. SKR-7. So known as The coastal cancer. Oh, and now just flex on me with the rockets. I genuinely hate this ship. Genuinely. There's not a lot of ships that I genuinely hate in this game. Yes, there are some. Notably Helena. And maybe K2, if I'm facing her in pretty much everything else than that it's not a light cruiser and above. That has AP, of course. But I feel like the first ship that earned the hatred status, in my opinion, was the SKR-7, long before Helena, even. Like, Helena, Moffat, Frank Knox, Kronstadt, Scharnhorst currently. I am not a big fan of them. But those you can deal with somewhat. You cannot deal is SKR-7, because SKR-7 only exists at lower tiers, where if you're not playing meta, so if you're not playing US or British destroyers, you are screwed when facing against her. So no. No. The SKR-7 is very high when it comes to the top tier of the most hated ships. Like, Moffats I hate because Moffats are just spammed to... We have this saying in Poland, że coś jest robione do pożygu. Something is done to the point of vomiting. This is basically... this is basically the situation with Moffats. So the Moffats are just spammed to the point that you want to vomit when you see one. Same thing with Helena, Żelezniaków, etc. The point is, besides Helena, you can effectively deal with a lot of them. What you cannot deal with most of the cases, like pretty much 7 out of 10 times, is SKR-7. And I'm not saying that out of malice, I'm just saying that out of personal experience. Mine and my other friends that play Naval and were willing to share that experience with me. Also, that Northampton is doing USS Texas. Not very keen on unlisting it herself. Well, on the contrary, particles are hard. I am very, very keen on getting that sweet, sweet shell room on Northampton. That sits, well, maybe not here, but the Citadel is here. Scars have the same weakness as Moffat beneath or above water rack. Just good luck hitting that if you don't get the first shot. that have accurate guns. So basically, good luck if you're not playing anything else than US destroyers. Which you're basically saying. By the way, hi. Welcome to the stream. Like, don't get me wrong, but anything that I'm sick of is the constant push towards just few nations and towards meta. Like, you can play other nations, you can have fun with other nations. It's just, if you want to have constant and good results, you have to play US, preferably premium 5.0 destroyer, whether it's that Nox, whether it's that Moffat. You play Soviets with SKR-7, preferably with Talisman, because a lot of players seems to like using Tali on her. And maybe... Okay, of course, Blagorodny. You can't forget about Blaga. Besides that, I know, maybe, but that's just really maybe. Something British. But yeah, this like, come on. I feel bad for my enemies. I feel bad for the Jervis. Other annoying, don't get me wrong, and the lack of parity is thief grinding. Just wanted to put that weakness out there. Not had half as much problem with them since I learned it. Oh no, yeah, I get you. Like, yes, I do know about that weakness, but the difference between the Moffat weakness and the difference between SKR-7 weakness is that SKR-7 sits way below water than Moffat. With Moffat, well, first of all, Moffats have comparing those two, yeah, sure, I can agree that they are very similar when it comes to being annoying. Well, here's the biggest difference, is that one can be dealt with easier than the other. And even if you're somewhat capable player, well, just like me, you don't have as much problems with Moffats. Even with Japanese destroyers, for example, facing Moffat in Akizuki, yeah, sure, that is possible, because you have the similar fire rate, and you can disable the turrets of Moffat pretty easily, while having the good accuracy, and you can just pretty much do what I like to call death by 1,000 cuts. So maybe not the most efficient way to deal with Moffats, but you can deal with Moffats. Then you get something with SAP or AP, just go for the rear magazines. The problem with SKR is that it sits way below waterline, so it's way harder to hit that sweet spot. And as it's a frigate, it doesn't get compartments, as much compartments as destroyer, so you don't have even a reliable way to kill its crew. You have to aim for the deck, so you have to use HE most of the times if you're not accurate. So you have to fight in a very disadvantageous position. And that's the biggest difference. And I think why I will put SKR way above Moffat in terms of annoyance, in terms of hatred. You have to pay for Moffat, while you don't have to pay for SKR 7. You want SKR 7? Yeah, just go for the first available squadron, grind for a few weeks, bam, you get SKR 7, you can be the annoying... not gonna finish that sentence, but you get what I'm talking about. The thing with Moffat, you have to spend money on that, and because not a lot of players like to spend that much money, or a lot of players are just not spending money on that, it's not as annoying because those are mostly bots. Yes, they are annoying if they spot you first, and a lot of the times they do, but it's easier to deal with bot, Chinese, Russian, whatever, that can just, you know, that will just spam at you, but won't do any maneuvers, so it's easy to hit them. Meanwhile, SKR 7 is mostly played by a player. And that's why they are more annoying. Oh, no you don't. Okay. At least... saying it... Okay, I don't think I'll have enough time. 600, 500... 400... Okay, this is just to decap. Okay, I screwed that up. Okay, my bad. My bad, but... it happens. It happens. Okay. Maybe for a change of pace. Oh, no. Next match. Next match, I'll go for 4-3 or 4-7. Let's go for Yubari, etc. To be honest, it's beat me to that last point of stepping it, as you say, SKR is definitely more annoying than Moffat. Exactly. Like, oh, okay. Yay, another 5-7. Yay, just what I wanted. Well, the point stands. I said, most of the times bots are not using things like frigates or things like free ships, besides battleships, lately, simply because it's not worth for them. It's easier for them to just use one premium, pay little to nothing when it comes to repair costs, and then just, well, die, press to battle, and rinse repeat. And SKRs, and not even SKR, Shimakazek, what was the German frigate that is pretty much the same as SKR, the Karl Marx, if I remember correctly. Those are just used by players. And players that use them don't tend to be the new players that don't know how to play the game. Most of the times they are really good players that know how to position themselves, that know how to deal with ships bigger than yourself, especially since SKR-7 is not susceptible to hull break. Yeah, so yeah. Goes to say, how big of a difference can, well, a ship make when you aren't used to as much playing things like proper players. Oh, I forgot those two words. But I do miss the good old days of Naval. So I don't want to say the days pre-split, pre-3 split. As at that point, the bot problem was not as prevalent as it is now, or as it was before. Yeah, not before, after the split. We're not just using 3 ships over and over again. People were just having fun. Wow, imagine having fun in Naval. Couldn't be me. No, but that's the sad part, I think. And sad not because how the game is currently, but because how clearly the meta changed the game. And how Gaijin deliberately made the game as it is. Okay, well, they are developers, so of course they will make the game how they deem suitable. Like, well, I think I've said quite a few times what I do think about changing focus from the major 3 in Naval the the true major three. So Great Britain, US, and Japan, to just expanding the ground definition of major nations and treating the rest as the minor ones. So treating Germany, USSR, and US as the major naval nations. Who got the first World War II battleship? Soviets. Who got the first missile destroyer? Soviets. Who got the first World War II built battleship? Germany. Who gets the best premiums and the best ships in overall? US. So these small, seemingly innocent changes are, well, in my opinion, very harmful when it comes to the game. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that sits here and plays the game. After all. I'm not gonna lie, it is baffling. I don't know, Naval was always like this in a way. Bot problem basically didn't exist, but Summer's Brooklyn spam was even worse, aside from the one's patch with Speer and Eugen. Yeah, kinda. The Brooklyn spam was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the Helena spam when we got the first premiums. Summers was annoying, that I'll give you that. But at the same time, maybe because it was a new game mode, so people were still trying out the different vehicles. So yes, people were already going for stuff like quote-unquote meta vehicles. But you could still see people playing British, later playing Japan, or even, I don't know, playing the 4.7, playing the 5.0. Didn't have that much up tiers, or the full up tiers that you currently have in the game. So I know, for me, it's a change in minus, for some change in plus. The Speer, I mean, okay, so Speer was the battleship before battleships. That we can agree upon. because Spe was unique enough when it comes to the design, but I don't think a lot of players were unhappy that Spe got the treatment other nations didn't get. Just my opinion. And Eugen Hyper. Eugen Hyper, well, weak underwater armor didn't help them. And still didn't help. Still don't help, even. First of all, yeah, sure. One might say that okay, let me just align the ammunition. Okay. One might say that Eugen was bad, but I was one of the few that didn't experience that, the problems with Moffat when playing her, while simultaneously being the one that quite exploited how easily it was to explode Moffat. Prince Eugen, I'm sorry. Not Moffat. Moffat too, but that's a whole different story. Is Graf Spe still as good as before? Yes, I would say yes. Maybe when faced at her tier, at her BR, so 5.7, 6.0, she still slaps. She is one of the few that can detonate pretty much everything she faces. The 283mm still do the job. It's just you would have to relearn and change the gameplay style from a little bit aggressive brawler to pretty much a battle cruiser going against battleships at this point. You are more squishy, but at the same time how should I say it? You can take a hit, but don't get hit too many times. That's the best advice. HP was absolutely busted in the first patch, where she was accidentally using 380mm HE, but since then she dropped to a more reasonable and constant state that hasn't changed since. I haven't played the... Basically, Spe has Scharnhorst guns, but main issue is the armor though. They are not Scharnhorst guns, they are shorter guns designed solely for Spe. It's better to say that Scharnhorst has Spe guns. Because they were basically the Spe guns sit in the different mounting plus elongated a little bit in order to, you know, I mean caliber yes, but so the 283, but Spe has 283/40, whereas Scharnhorst has 283/50 caliber. so the barrel length is different. Because the guns for Scharnhorst were pretty much just I forgot how it's called, but it was the just a stop for before they were fitted with the Bismarck guns, the Scharnhorst class. So both Gneisenau and Scharnhorst, as they were supposed to have the 380mm of Bismarck guns. But that never happened, so we just know Scharnhorst with the guns that she ultimately finished with, ended up with. Yes, should have said it was the other. Yeah. This is not as... well, no, it's not as bad. The only thing I have to complain when it comes to Speer's guns is the reload rate. But quite frankly, that is acceptable, I guess. A 30 seconds reload, which I suppose is fine. It's just not fine, you know? Would very much prefer a little bit the same reload rate as Scharnhorst. And yes, I know that those the two classes use different turrets and hence the different reload. Blah blah blah, etc. etc. One can hope. Because sometimes, just sometimes, when fighting the faster firing even heavy cruisers, you do want that little bit of, you know, the reload so you can keep up with the rest. Not every time, just sometimes. I feel like you don't actually need to treat her as a heavy cruiser, although the game designated her as such. I feel like the more probable designation for her would, or the playstyle for her would be a true battle cruiser, a true German battle cruiser. I always wondered if they introduced Scharnhorst's sister Gneisenau. I wonder, will it be premium or tech tree as Gaijin? It's a bad way of putting sister ships, one in premium and one tech tree. For Gneisenau, I would say that she would probably be introduced as a reward for one of the next events, maybe for the winter. We were speculating that Gneisenau would come as the premium battleship for the pack, but as it was pretty much shown to us that we're getting Nassau instead of Gneisenau, so that theory just died. Nevertheless, I don't expect seeing Gneiss now as the Tech 3 ship. Just like Bismarck, I think that if we're getting Bismarck, then Bismarck would be the Tech 3 version, whereas Tirpitz would be the premium. As long as we can get her by grind or event is okay. Yeah, I don't think Gaijin would keep her as a premium. Probably Gneiss would get the Haruna treatment, so as it is easier for Gaijin to just copy paste the vehicle and like add a few anti-air turrets or just a small slight changes that are not that ingrating in the visual changes, then probably it's gonna be an event ship. Like to see Gneiss now in her 380mm refit compared to the leaked 39 refit to make her unique to Scharnhorst her what if unfinished gun, so I don't see why not. Well, the problem with Kronstadt is that Kronstadt were supposed to get the 380mm too. So I don't know about you, but I would really prefer seeing Kronstadt with 380mm than Scharnhorst or Gneiss now in this case. I feel Bismarck will be the premium as her popularity will sell her a lot more than Tirpitz as premium. Good point. Good point. Okay, excuse me. How this Vega just ate a torpedo to the bow and took no damage? But from what I saw is we're getting the first ship of the class as a Tech 3. We're the same with Belfast. Yeah, but Belfast is not the first ship of the class. It's not the Belfast class, it's Town class. Because from what I see, we're getting the first ship of the Tech 3 as the Tech 3 version, and the second ship is in the quote-unquote the premium part. For example, Congo, Haruna, Newport News. Okay, maybe not Newport News, but Baltimore, Pittsburgh. No, that's in reverse. Okay, so maybe Bismarck will end up as a premium. Who knows? Like, well, basically it's a class designation, so Tech 3. Maybe. At this point, I am completely out of touch when it comes to guessing what Gaijin is gonna add or what Gaijin is trying to achieve. So I'm not gonna guess. Last time I did was a little bit of a failure, so nah, this point I'm not trying to guess. It's not for my head. I don't see them changing Chron at this stage. It's been years and there'd be an outrage, maybe added as Project 69 1 even ship or something, but not a hotfix replacement. Oh no, not at all. I never said that I want to have her main guns replaced. What I was trying to say is that I'd rather see Kronstadt in her designated guns, so the 380mm, than those what if quote-unquote magical guns that Gaijin just pretty much took everything out of their asses, both when it comes to ammunition, reload rate, turret slowing rate, muzzle velocity, penetration, HE filler, etc. That's what I was getting at. So okay, then my bad then. At this point, yeah, sure, of course. That the last time, the only time we can change something in the design of the ship is during the first dev blog, and that short period of time. So something like what happened with Shimakaze. Like the first time when Gaijin introduced Shimakaze as the squadron vehicle, they said that she will just have the only 2 turrets, whereas it was just ahistorical and it never happened in real life. She never had 2 turrets, she always had 3 turrets. So the player base was pretty vocal about that. And that's how Shima has 3 turrets instead of 2. Good for her. She's squishy AF though, so it's still not as... it's not as bad, I guess. But when it comes to ships like Kronstadt, like Gneiss now, etc. in the... well, in this hypothetical retrofits, I don't feel like Gaijin likes to stick to them that much. So the times if such things exist, then we're not getting, we either are getting the full projects, so the first design, so just like with Kronstadt, just like with Etna, or this Italian destroyer, I forgot how it's called, the Comandante something. Let me just show you which one. Oh, this one, Comandante Mergottini, the project that never existed, or Etna. So those two are just completely how they designed it, but never existed. So same with Kronstadt. And well, Who knows what will be the next ships that will get the same treatment. But with showing us that Gaijin likes to add projects, they are leaving the door open. Something that I don't really like to see, but well, of course it would happen eventually. So the fictional ships, something what Wargaming is doing, but maybe on a lower scale. So maybe not adding Scharnhorst with the 380mm guns, or adding something like, I don't know, the Shikishima, so completely fictional design. But we will probably see something like the Project A150 class, the H class battleships for Germany, Montana class for US. What was it? The Lion class for Britain, something like that. So the fictional ships that were designed, that were in development, maybe some plans existed, maybe not, so most of the time it's just artistic rendition of how they look like. Maybe the guns were tested, maybe not. Who knows? But this is something that we should brace for impact and learn to embrace, because that's how it will end up. Not really something I am a big fan of. I prefer to keep my game as quote-unquote as realistic as possible when it comes to new designs. But for sure I'm not gonna accept the fictional ships that Wargaming is currently adding. Like the completely, not even adding the designs, the ships that were designed but were never laid down, but something like I forgot what was it called, like the 10th tier European destroyer, the Polish destroyer that was what if Poland designed a destroyer based on the Mogador class, something like that. Next updates, Naval changes are nice, but I feel there will be no change in how people play with torps. That's true. Not a lot of people like to play with torps, but I've seen a rise of people playing with torpedoes, so maybe they will try to change something. And then see that it's just basically how it was before, maybe with a little bit more effectiveness, and then stop playing whatsoever. Remember, most of the ships that are currently in meta, so in meta, that are currently being used by majority of players, whether bots or not, don't have torpedoes. Yes, Eugen has torpedoes. Yes, Scharnhorst has torpedoes. But Żelazniakow doesn't. Lena doesn't. Des Moines doesn't. Etc. I'm fine with project ships as long as it was planned or laid down and not complete, etc. But pure fictional, like Wargaming does, it's not okay. Exactly. Like, for some ships, I don't know. For example, the Sovietsky Soyuz class for Soviets. The supposed battleship that was supposed to have the 410mm guns, if I remember correctly. I would be more fine with them, with being added, with the Sovietsky Soyuz, than with Kronstadt. Simply because those guns existed and were tested. By the way, Sharon, thanks for subscription. I understood then, my bad. No problem. Yeah, those stats are all paper estimates. Still, I don't think I'll mind paper ships as long as they're finished, designs and laid down. Not true papers, like you mentioned. Good to see that we are in agreement. Not gonna lie, I've seen some people saying that they don't mind paper ships. Like the proper paper ships. Something what Gaijin is doing. Gaijin? Wargaming. Gaijin is not doing. But quote unquote what Gaijin was doing when it comes to jets. Maybe not very prevalent thing that it was, but I really have to get rid of that habit. But R2Y2. Only the first version was designed, the one that looks a little bit like Meteor, and the version of V3 and V2 are just okay. They were supposed to look something like that, but how they look and what were the engines that were used in building them, etc. This is all just Gaijin estimations. Same thing with Panther 2, same thing with, to a lesser extent, of Coelian. Like Coelian had the wooden mock-up. Where ships are done when there is no more stuff to add, but we still have backlog of ships need to be added, so adding paper first is very bad. Yeah. Well, yes and no. Because like you said, we have a lot of ships that should be added. And I wholeheartedly agree. We have way too many ships that should be added. So adding projects, adding paper ships is just a bad decision on Gaijin's side. Then again, you have to remember which nations are played the most. Like we established earlier, the naval nations that are played the most are the same nations that are played in ground, which are Soviets, Germany, and US. For US, no problem, you have a crap ton of ships that could be added and that will not change. So you can pretty much have one ship, be it cruiser, be it a battleship or destroyer, being added every patch, and that would still live with a lot, and really a lot of ships to be added in pretty much for next 5 years. When it comes to the other two, we currently hit something that is called pretty much a dead end. Besides Sovietsky Soyuz and or maybe Borodino class, the World War I Borodino, not the supposed World War II Borodino class that never existed, Soviets have nothing to offer when it comes to capital ships, so 2 ships that might be spanning across next 3 years to be added, and then nothing. At this point we have no cruisers left to be added because we don't have any more classes, and quite frankly we don't have any more ships to be added, besides filling gaps like we have with in the Britain with Diana and Daring, which are basically copy-paste ships, and which probably will be the way Gaijin will add more ships to Soviets. The same thing with Germany. Because for Germany, besides Bismarck, and maybe Tegethoff as the Austro-Hungarian and or a little bit of the dreadnoughts, you have nothing. When it comes to modern stuff, with cruisers, you don't have more cruisers. You don't have more battleships. Hell, you don't have more destroyers even. I mean, paper for minor nation is okay as it needs more stuff, but paper ships for major nations with many build ships not added is a bad move. 6mm for Sovietsky Soyuz, yeah, Ismail class with would be horrifying if PK is anything to go by. So also Stalingrad was leaked years ago in files, so basically just more paper. The fun part about Stalingrad, Bismarck, Yamato, etc. The fun part about that is that's just my theory, but just because it was leaked in files doesn't mean we will see them in the game. Simply because I feel like what we got in the files was just used to develop the War Thunder mobile, which, surprise surprise, have Stalingrad, have Bismarck, have Yamato, etc, etc. Coincidence? Or just a stroke of luck? And Sharan, the thing about that, yes, Soviets and Germany are minor nations, and they will get more paper ships as we go by, even though, for example, for Japan, for UK, basically for the rest, we have quite a few normal ships to be still added. The problem is how Gaijin treats those minor nations. Instead of treating, for example, Japan or UK as the major nations, Gaijin likes to treat Soviets and Germany as major nations in the game. That's my problem. And yes, those were major nations, like, I'm not arguing that they weren't. There were major nations that, well, pretty much shifted the whole world, etc. But they were land nations. They really didn't want to develop anything naval. Germany, because they understood that they were no match against British, and Russia, first Imperial Russia, then Soviet Russia, was just like, okay, we got beaten so hard during the Russo-Japanese War in 1905 that we are just not going to develop anything meaningful when it comes to ships. And they didn't. They were never good with that. And the most successful ships that they have, so the Tashkent class, one of the most famous one for being the fastest, etc. Well, quote unquote, Tashkent was Italian, was built by Italians from the beginning until the end, and only then sold to Soviets. If I remember correctly, the battleships too, to some extent, but don't quote me on that, because I, quite frankly, don't remember that. Okay, Yamato, Bismarck, and even carriers are in files and game as NPC, but I don't think they will come out anytime soon. This was in the same league that held Hood, Renown, Arizona, Cron, blah blah, all which have hit the game over the years rather than the War Thunder mobile models. Still no guarantee it will appear very soon. Yeah, but well, the thing is, the game uses the same models, so that's why I think it was just for It was more for the development of the War Thunder mobile. Oh my god, what is going on with the frames? Hello, game? Okay, better. It was more when it comes to development of the War Thunder mobile than the development of the War Thunder, the main game. That's just, like I said, that's just my theory. You don't have to agree with me. It's just what I think. And the game uses the same models. Pretty much you can check. They are a little bit downscaled, but that is more due to not the details, because on the high details, as you can see, if you launch the game in emulator like BlueStacks or something, they are pretty much identical to the models that we have in the main game. So I don't know how many of them are planned to hit the main game, but for me it's more likely that they were just to develop into the mobile version. Same thing with Arizona, Kronstadt, etc., which are in the mobile version too. So yes, they might hit the game, hopefully never, especially Stalingrad. They have to test stuff some way, and why build separate testbed when you have a working game to test it? Exactly, especially that both of those games run on the same Dagger engine. That's what I'm getting the vibes of. Like, it's not about, oh yeah, we don't have the meaningful way. So first of all, why design 2 times when you don't have to? And more or less you can test, like you said, you can test the ships, or not only the ships but planes and tanks too, before they hit the mobile version, because the mobile version is mostly downscaling some maps like the abandoned factory, or I don't know what else, because I don't play the mobile tanks. I've only played Naval to get Hatsuzuki. Pretty much they're just downscaled to the to fit the mobile, and then the controls were adjusted. There was no new engine build, there was no new models, so maybe that's why the models are in the game, or maybe not. We will see them in the game in a few years, who knows. Like I said, hopefully not. Time will tell. But for sure, at first, real ships. We have playing mobile tank was so hard and painful. Well, Naval was decent. Yeah, it was decent, but what I didn't like about Naval is the repair system. That was I don't know, it felt more like the World of Warships mobile than War Thunder mobile. Yes, it was still the module combat, it was still crew-based, etc. But at the same time, it felt for me that they were more or less relying on what Wargaming has established with World of Tanks and World of Warships Blitz than, you know, trying to establish the War Thunder in the mobile games. Maybe that's just me, and maybe that is because those modes were modeled after arcade and not after realistic. And as someone who hasn't touched arcade in years, that's why it was weird for me. There are some weird parts. What I didn't get also was the upgrade system. Instead of modifications, you get this quote-unquote currency that you can spend on upgrades. And then those upgrades are just for one vehicle, be it a ship or a tank. For me, it's weird because they have perfect system of modifications in the game already, so they could have just copied but simplify it. I guess they just wanted to show off that they can do stuff too. I'm not mad, for me it's just interesting. That's for now. For now, I'm not worried about Naval. For now, I'm not worried about Stalingrad or whatever going into the game. Currently, what I'm worried about is the unrepairable water compartments. That is something that currently I'm very, very skeptical about. I can't seem but fail to notice appeal of that. Like, okay, yeah, the magically repairable compartments, like every time they are just being fixed and plugged. I forgot the word. Yeah, that is a little bit of stretch. Sure. But I don't know if what Gaijin tries to achieve with that is gonna turn out really good. It's Gaijin that we're talking about, so remember, last time they tried to change the damage model to better for players, we were stuck with the HE bug for months. And I don't think I need to remind you about the cursed SAP meta. Yes, I don't know how it will turn out to be. I mean, it's realistic, but how it will work needs to be seen. Currently, from what people are reporting, it's a mixed bag. For some, this is really good. For the rest, this is the worst change, one of the worst changes in the game. So, as always, it depends on player. Most are positive, but there are still voices that are not really all gung-ho about that. And true be said, I'm in this skeptical part of the community. But I am hoping that it will turn... it's gonna turn out great. I really am, because the last thing I want to see is the game failing completely, because I really like the game, and it's not, and in the words of one of my favorite content creators, Josh Strife Hayes, if the game fails, then nobody wins, nor developers, nor players. So I'm only hoping for the game to succeed. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with every change, especially if that change is really controversial. People are excited as Naval getting some attention from Gaijin. Well, last time Naval got attention from Gaijin, we were stuck with SAP shells being way better in penetrating armor than armor piercing shells. Diving shells were non-existent, so Type 91, for example, was just useless. And ships just died from sneezing with HE on them. So I don't know if Naval getting attention from Gaijin is that good of a thing. If they said, okay, we're gonna add more game modes, we're gonna rework some maps to accommodate for we're gonna accommodate new game modes, we're gonna rework maps, especially the smaller ones, to accommodate battleships, so the ranges are not like the 12 kilometers, and right from the get-go we're facing each other and start shooting across the map. It's really fun. But no, we're getting stuff that I hope it won't bite us in the ass. I just hope that. Because it really looks like it will. It really does. Don't get me wrong. I used to play World of Warships for 6-7 years. I had how it becomes now, so War Thunder Naval is very fun, frustrating but fun, so I want to see this game succeed. Exactly. I played shorter than you. I played for 2 years or so, but still I've started in this bad time. Well, bad time. I started at a quite alright time, then the carrier rework happened. Then Soviet battleships were announced, and I naturally dropped the game in favor of War Thunder. And then War Thunder announced that they are adding the naval mode, so I just got excited and stayed here. More that the hull compartment breaking will make light cruisers competitive against battleships again, given they can HE down your hull, do no damage, and flood you out. Really hope it's not an HE bug to rerun. Yeah, me too. Me too. They did say something about shell caliber being responsible of for the flood damage or for the making holes. But I will need to, after this match, check the table in the Discord, because if I remember correctly, Rowan posted this table, data mined on his server, so I do need to check it. It's funny how pretty much everyone in the naval content creator community knows each other, because we're such a small community. I played War Thunder for more than 8 years, but naval only for 1.5 years. Oh boy, I've currently, how many years will that be? 6 years of War Thunder. Then pretty much starting naval as soon as the closed beta test begin. No, open beta test, I'm sorry. I did not qualify for the closed beta test, and I couldn't buy my way into it. The only time I bought the pack was when the Japan was announced. Really, I wasn't really keen on buying for, well, neither USA nor Germany nor Soviets. It was fun playing, I'm gonna lie. I still have really screwed up coastal lines because of that. Damn. I've been playing this game for 6 years. And pretty much daily, even. What have I done with my life? Oh well. There are definitely worse time to spend all those years. But yeah, I've started playing War Thunder because World of Warplanes was way too bad for me. Not even ironically, it was a bad game. Interestingly, people are still playing it. So it's not like the game is abandoned. That's the fun part. Okay. Is that shot? But there is a thing I have to commend Wargaming that I really don't like about Gaijin, and that is the whole BR thing. On paper, it's good. In reality, I really like, for example here, I really like facing restriction locked for World of Warplanes. Oh, you didn't miss a lot. You really didn't miss a lot. That potential. Did it? Well, it wasn't bad. For sure. It was just really mediocre. But, what was I talking about? Well, I forgot. Okay, 2 torpedoes should be enough. Okay. 2 more just to be certain. I believe it's Eugen. Oh. Oh yeah, I remember what was I talking about. About BR and tiers in World of Warships. Not only World of Warships, but Wargaming in general. The tiers in Wargaming games are way more... If you forgot, it means it was not that important. Yeah, it wasn't, but it was a nice topic. The tiers are way more balanced in Wargaming games than BRs in the War Thunder game. Especially the higher you go. Lower parts, yeah, kinda important, but at the same time, you are not like very very punishable if you're, I don't know, facing what would be a good comparison? Oh, for example, if we're facing Chaffee in, I don't know, the Tetrarch. Both are light tanks and they can deal with each other. They are, one is a bit better, of course. Chaffee is way better. Chaffee is better than Tetrarch, but Tetrarch can deal with Chaffee, and that is well 1.0, 3.7. That's a bigger gap than I wanted to say, but even this 1.0, 2.0 gap or 2.0, 3.0 gap is not as noticeable as the gap between, for example, 10.0, 11.0. In tanks, a lot of the times it is a matter of life or death. For example, and in Naval too. The first destroyers, 3.3, 4.3, yeah, sure. One can deal with each other. Plus you're not rank locked like War Thunder. Yeah, that too, but at the same time War Thunder has way better progression system. Where you can just choose to what vehicle you like to play and use this vehicle pretty much for a lot longer time than in wargaming games. For example, I like Sendai. Theoretically, I can use Sendai to grind out whole Japanese tree. In practice, it is a little bit hard, but still it is doable. Especially now that Sendai is moved to rank 4, so you can still comfortably research battleships with Sendai. Yeah, sure, you don't get modifiers of the 6.0. It's still possible, though. And if I want to research battleships with Sendai, I can research battleships. If I want to research cruisers, I can research cruisers. Destroyers? Sure, go ahead. In wargaming, if I want to research battleships, I have to play battleship one tier below. And if I want to research cruiser, I have to play cruiser one tier below, even though I don't like it. I still remember how I really didn't like the Japanese destroyers, but I have to grind through. Same with playing tier 6 battleships. I loved Congo at tier 5, I really didn't like Fuso. So for me tier 6 was really a chore, and then I got to Nagato and it was a little bit better at tier 7. So both games have good progression system, but the matchmaking is a bit better than in War Thunder. Because in the games, if you are the one tier below, you can do enough. For example, tier 8 versus tier 9 or tier 8 versus tier 10. That's a little bit of a stretch, but tier 10 versus tier 9 or tier 9 versus tier 10, etc, etc. You can still deal and contribute enough to the victory of your team. Here, like, I mean, for example, if you put one team, hypothetically, one team has only 5.0, the other team has only 6.0. I will bet on the team that has 6.0 all the time. No matter who plays in the 5.0, no matter how good they are in the game, and no matter how big of an advantage they have. yeah, sure. There's one Kako, for example, that can deal with Eugens, that can deal with Helena. Pretty much with everything. But if you put Enterprise, Elbing, Emden, I don't know, Trenton, Sendai against Mogami, Helena, Żelezniaków, Svierdlov, what else? Belfast. I'm betting on the 6.0, 5.7 all the time because I know that there is such a huge gap in technology that it cannot be crossed over. Yes, 1v1, then that depends on the skill, that depends on the map, that depends on the distance. But generally, you wanna bet on the higher tier. In wargaming, yes, most of the times you can bet safer on the higher tier, but the low tier is still as competitive as the higher tier in the same match. Another example. Okay, yeah, both have their benefits, but in wargaming games you can go from tier 1 to 10 in a week with premium. In War Thunder it's a bit longer. I mean, for some that's a negative part, for some it's a positive part. You can enjoy the game longer. You don't and because you don't need to play one vehicle, especially when it comes to tanks, or maybe not now, or I was gonna say planes, but not now when we have the planes premiums that can research the whole tree again. But, well, debatable. So currently, yeah, my bad. I take my point and I'm gonna eat my words. That it is not as good as it was. And tier 9 is the crown in wargaming, and 5.3 is like a good tier in naval. 5.3 is good tier in naval. Depends on the nation, honestly. Oh my god, what is happening? Wait, let me see the preview in... Okay, YouTube preview is good. It just Streamlabs that just decided to capitulate. It's very hard when you are in lower tier in War Thunder. Yeah, that is true. But 5.3 is a good tier. Really depends on the nation. For example, in Japan, 5.3 is the worst part of the entire tree. Agano is abysmal. I don't like Agano. I very much prefer... prefer Sendai or Kako. And those are at 5.0. But at the same time, a lot of my favorite cruisers at are 5.3. Then yeah, I'll give you that point. What's bad when it comes to naval in War Thunder and struggling in lower tiers against higher tiers is that you don't have this this synergy that you have in, for example, World of Warships. That it's not only, for example, battleships facing battleships and the 6.0 cruisers, but they are also playing against destroyers and cruisers at the same tier. And yes, the direct translation from one game to another is not a very good stuff, but as you can see in Naval Enduring, is that it can be done, and it can be done good. The implementation of every ship class in War Thunder, from battleships, the beasts of the battlefield that really just push through and lead the charge. The cruisers that the cruisers and destroyers that either hunt other nations, provide the support, etc., especially the A support, and even the something like small PT boats that can sneak behind. It comes to for example, during the convoy raid, you can sneak behind the convoys and attack a battleship that really went too far. British and USA was nice in 5.3? Yeah, I agree. Per US 5.3 over US 6.0. One of the few that does, but I do. So it shows that you can have this synergy of all classes in War Thunder. It's just Gaijin don't know how to achieve that in random battles. So what we are ended up with is just very, very basic and lately, for a lot of the times, not really enjoyable time. Unless you're playing meta, but you need to play meta to enjoy the game, then something is wrong with the game. That's my opinion. If the game doesn't allow you to play anything else, to have the remote part of fun, you want to play something at top tier. And if you don't believe me, bring your HMS Dreadnought or HMS Colossus to top tier and fight this way. And you will see. Wait, Ikoma. God damn it. Oh shit. Ah. Oh no, they got my torpedo. So I just noticed I had my secondary disabled. Naval sees one more. Or even if I'm in a low tier, I don't mind it as it is fun. Exactly. I kept spamming Shima because I was unable to kill a battleship in my spawn. But see, you could spam Shimakaze and still go and fight and put up a fight against that battleship. And you couldn't do that in a random battle, could you? In a random battle you would be just, okay, one time detonated, second time detonated, and well, that's it. Or just one time detonated and you're like, okay, time to spawn in a battleship. Because you don't have any counter against other battleships. That's the problem of random battles in War Thunder. I play all ships as it's fun to play different ships. I don't care much about metas. Playing and doing well in less played ships is satisfying. I have a very rare view about what is fun in War Thunder, especially in Naval. Don't get me wrong, but because I do agree with your point of view. And for me, it is much more satisfying facing, for example, facing Eugen in Akako and detonating its ammunition and winning this way, than facing Eugen in another Eugen and detonating it this way. Same with that Ikoma. I can, then... I do have a little bit of chance against that Ikoma. Just a little. Not much. But if I'm good enough, then maybe I can even detonate her. Okay, first I have to be good enough. Easier said than done, as always. That would be really nice to see. Like, I do have the means to do that. I just can't really go for that. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Too low or... Doesn't seem like I'm able to go for the below water parts. No. At least I've had fun. Okay. Aha. can compare that to a very slow jousting. Just try to disable the turret. Battleship versus light cruiser is a pain. Well, good thing I'm in a heavy cruiser. Oh, okay. That's it for me. I am dead. But hey, I put out a greater fight than I expected. Maybe not great by any means. But it still wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Oh, if that magazine would just go black or dark red. Oh, that would have been awesome. Yeah. Ikoma. I'm sorry for what is about to happen to you. But you just cannot be allowed to live. Call me petty, but this is what a plane was designed for. Okay, maybe let's not look at the skin that I'm currently using because I forgot to change it. You're not Ikoma. Who are you? Okay, damn it, I think I mistook Eugen for Ikoma. That would have been close. I was like, wait a minute. Ikoma doesn't have that many of anti-air. I'll see you later. As I need to sleep, we'll continue the VOD as I like watching the past streams. Catch you soon again online again. See you later. Don't worry, I'm pretty much... I was gonna end up the stream after this game too. So... I'm just currently trying to finish it. And I'll be online tomorrow. Probably not playing War Thunder. Playing some other games. Been thinking about, I don't know what for now. If I will manage to get my friend, then Call to Arms, the Gates of Hell, and if not, then either Hearts of Iron 4, doing some fun run, or maybe Battlefield. Battlefield seems like a nice chill game to play, but that will... I will decide that tomorrow. For today, well, end the stream, then grab something to eat, and go to sleep too, because it is 1 AM. Tomorrow's Saturday, but that doesn't mean I should sleep until afternoon, or noon even. Okay, 9 minutes left of the match. We are in a disadvantage though. Okay, flaps. Wrong button. Got to drop down my gear. Okay, good. Good. Also, not a bit late, but I remembered what was the other thing War Thunder gets better than wargaming games, and that is a scale of something. Like the scale of War Thunder vehicles is way better than the scale of wargaming vehicles. It's like, yeah, sure, the destroyers are smaller, the cruisers are medium, and the battleships are bigger, but in War Thunder, even the destroyers are big. When you go in a PT boat, which destroyers were originally supposed to counter, then you could see how big destroyers are really. If you go to the photo mode and go as a quote-unquote normal human being, like on a tour of a ship, you can see how big those ships are exactly. And yes, probably it's because it's a different sense of scale, but still, it's way better in War Thunder than in World of Warships, for example. Like those ships are just feel bigger, and they are probably the same size, but they seem bigger and more mightier. I know, that's just how it strikes me. Even the planes. Like, compare that Focke-Wulf 200 to my B7. My B7 is not the smallest plane, because it is a naval bomber after all, so it has to have the appropriate wingspan and everything, especially that this is well, a two-seat plane, but still 2 kilometers out, and I still can see pretty maybe not detailed, but pretty clearly how Focke-Wulf 200 looks like. So the scale is very important. Okay, get down in the PGO2. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. We only had spawn points for a fighter. 4 minutes. I don't think that's enough. Kuma is slower after all. I haven't played Kuma in a while. A long, long while, even. But she does look good. I do have to say it. She does look good. So, oh no, no. We lost. God damn it. God damn it, we lost. Oh well, GG. Oh, my legs hurt. After 3 hours of just sitting, my legs hurt. But okay, 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna set sail towards sea. I don't think I'll see closer, or I will see any enemies. Oh my god, I knocked down my figurine. Yes, yes, I forgot to mention that. Besides a description and what inspired me to play Sendai, I have bought on the AnimeCon a figurine of Sendai in her second retrofit. Oh, mission failed. That is pretty much what inspired me. If I got Congo, then probably I would play Congo. Truth be said. Oh, nice. I've done a challenge. So let's get a reward. And what have I got? Order. Stoppable offensive. Huh, okay. I might do that in the meantime. But for now, I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, consider leaving a like, leaving a subscription to be notified of my other streams and videos. There will be more videos incoming, so don't you worry. Especially now that I have regained a little bit of motivation to do more videos. I don't know, holidays ended and I seem to have the same amount of time, but more motivation, looks like. Okay, that would be it, and don't want to prolong that much. For now, I hope you have a beautiful day, night, evening, or an afternoon, wherever you are. This is Aventer, out. See you tomorrow, pretty much around the same time. And I wonder if it will be an hour later or an hour earlier. Probably either the same time or an hour later. We'll see, we'll see. It's gonna be pretty much a single player game after all, or if it comes to Battlefield, there's always quite a few servers open, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so it will be it for today. I'm gonna probably not continue playing today. 3 hours of War Thunder is enough for me. But I will continue in the meantime to get Ise. Ise might just even switch to my my combo. Okay, that's it. See ya. Bye bye.